Let me get you on camera. Where you from?
California.
No, for real. Leave it on. Serious though.
Watts, baby.
I know where you from though. Where you from?
Eastside PJ Watts.
I'm from Grace 2 Rock, nigga.
Right.
They call you, homie?
Big Slice.
Big Slice?
Yes, yes.
Alright, nigga. They call me Puto, cuz.
Right.
With Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
I want to know why, man. No bush. Because I surely noticed the trend. I'm sure you do too. Violent societies, kind of boo-boo. And we get rewarded. Oh, my mama, if you can afford it. But, yeah, it's an epidemic of assholism. But with no further ado, let's see what they say. We, modern society, has been up to.
What if I told you that in today's world, stupidity isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated? That being loud, shallow, and proudly ignorant has somehow become a fast track to fame, influence, and even leadership. Think about it. When was the last time deep thinking trended? When did nuance go viral?
That's crazy because this is going to be a thinker's thought.
We live in a culture where the most meaningless personalities dominate the spotlight, where 15-second clips get more engagement than thoughtful arguments,
It's like he describing the Fed quarters.
and where millions flock to content that requires zero effort to understand and even less effort to question. This isn't just a cultural phase, it's a systemic shift. We've created a world where empty entertainment is rewarded over intellectual substance, where clever memes replace logical discourse, and where fast, flashy content is more valuable than reflective conversation. Once, public dialogue was a space for debate, dissent, and the wrestling of ideas. Now it's a battlefield of slogans, reactions, and short-form distractions. We scroll past philosophy to get to pranks. We skip expert insight to chase trending audio. And the tragedy is, this isn't just happening by accident. Popular culture no longer merely reflects our values, it actively shapes them. The media we consume, the influencers we elevate, the content we reward, all of it is teaching us something. That it's better to be likable than informed, faster to be emotional than rational, and more profitable to be shallow than serious. The algorithm doesn't care about truth, it cares about attention. The result is a civilization trained not to think, but to react, not to question, but to consume. And over time, that consumption rewires what we find meaningful, what we respect, and ultimately, who we listen to. You might think this is harmless, just entertainment, just distraction. But when cultural incentives reward stupidity, stupidity becomes strategic. People learn quickly that dumbing down, oversimplifying, or even faking ignorance can be a viable brand. YouTube thumbnails scream with exaggerated faces. Politicians speak in catchphrases instead of policy. Viral posts are rarely accurate, but always loud. And all of this signals to the next generation that complexity is boring and intelligence is elitist. So ask yourself, when did we start confusing noise with knowledge? When did we start mistaking visibility for value? The truth is unsettling. We live in a system that doesn't just tolerate stupidity, it monetizes it, promotes it, and glorifies it. And if we
No jumper, the Fed quarters, and like they describing them still.
don't recognize that pattern, we'll wake up in a world where thinking deeply is seen as a liability, not a virtue. Where intellectual life becomes a relic of the past. Where the shallow don't just survive, they win. But here's where things get darker. Stupidity today isn't just tolerated or celebrated, it's carefully crafted. We've entered an era where ignorance is no longer a disadvantage, but a calculated strategy. The rise of the dumb but rich persona isn't an accident, it's a formula. It's a performance designed to appear relatable, harmless, and entertaining. And the rewards are massive. Followers, sponsorships, power. In a world where attention is currency, playing dumb has become an economic advantage. Look around. The people getting the most airtime aren't the most thoughtful. They're the most outrageous. Controversy, not competence, drives clicks. Shock value wins over substance. And behind the screens, there's a chilling realization. Authenticity is less valuable than virality. Why develop wisdom when you can generate noise? Why offer insight when exaggeration performs better? We've created a media environment where the smart thing to do is to act stupid, and millions are catching on. This shift has fueled a deeper
I heard that's how they describe 607 his character.
cultural pathology, anti-intellectualism. We don't just ignore intellectuals, we actively mistrust them. Experts are labeled as elitist, scientists are mocked as out of touch. Thinkers are dismissed as irrelevant. The very people who dedicate their lives to understanding complex problems are sidelined for being too serious, too complicated, or, worst of all, not entertaining enough. It's a quiet war on depth, one fought with laughter, memes, and viral trends, and social media is the battlefield. These platforms are engineered to reward immediacy over reflection, emotion over evidence. Content that's short, loud, and emotionally charged spreads faster because it's easier to digest. A sarcastic reel will outperform a nuanced explainer every time. A conspiracy theory gets more engagement than a peer-reviewed study. Why? Because truth requires effort. Lies are easy, and in a world addicted to dopamine, ease always wins. So we've built a machine that punishes complexity and glorifies simplicity.
That's the case. We headed for a crazy place because convenience is the goal in every area. We try to simplify and make every process more convenient. That's why automation and AI is so dominant right now. And as we make tasks simpler for ourselves, like it's going to even be less activities to even participate in if there's not as many handy physical tasks to do. What are people going to spend their time doing? That's why we looking at often the futuristic. It always seems like everything is so like space and quiet. And just I'd be like, what is they gonna be doing? You can just fly, choo choo choo. They still gonna be partying, or everybody gonna be cyborgs by then? Uh, humans fused with technology.
No matter how false or destructive that simplicity might be, we're not just dumbing down, we're monetizing the performance of stupidity. And this performance is everywhere. Fake lifestyles, fabricated drama, manufactured personas that gain millions of followers by offering nothing but surface. Meanwhile, the thinkers, the educators, the truth tellers are buried in the noise. Too complex, too slow, too inconvenient for the scroll. Ask yourself, when did we start rewarding people for knowing less? When did ignorance become an aesthetic? The terrifying truth is that we've trained a generation to believe that it's not what you know that matters. It's how entertaining your ignorance looks online. And once that belief takes hold, once stupidity becomes a brand, a business, and a badge of honor, there's no incentive left to seek truth, only to seek attention. But let's go even deeper. Why is shallow content not just surviving, but thriving? Why does it feel easier, almost irresistible, to scroll past the complex and dive into the silly, the sensational, the...
I don't know why, but I can't do it. So I had to step further and further away from an environment or a climate that I considered what he's describing. To be able to be there for a hot brief second is one thing, but to be a member of it and part of the circus, not SPI, Eastie, so never 1597.
Stupid. The answer isn't just cultural, it's psychological. In a world that feels increasingly chaotic, simplicity offers something we're all quietly craving: control. Life today is overwhelming. Uncertain economies, shifting identities, complex global crises we barely understand. And in that storm of confusion, the simple becomes seductive. A shallow post that confirms what we already believe. A joke that lets us avoid uncomfortable truths. A 10-second video that demands nothing from us. No thinking, no effort, just instant relief. The shallower the content, the more it gives us the illusion that we're on top of things, that we get it, that we're not lost. It's what psychologists call the fluency effect. The easier something is to process, the more we believe it must be true. Our brains reward simplicity, not because it's accurate, but because it feels good.
That's deep. Because when they start telling you, oh, this universe is billions of years old, and it's even the Big Bang, but the Big Bang and the creation story is almost equally as hard to grasp. That was a thought, man. The more simple it is to understand, you can process it, it's more believable. If it's something that your brain can't imagine, it's like unbelievable. It's like, yeah, that's bullshit. But the more complex things that it's hard for us to grasp are probably more of the reality, because our understanding of reality has to be minute. We look at the vastness of the whole existence.
And in a media environment designed to bombard us with information, anything complex feels like friction. So we start avoiding friction without even realizing it. We choose content that feels effortless. We laugh instead of reflect. We react instead of pause. And slowly, we lose our appetite for anything that requires real thinking. Humor becomes our armor. We joke about everything, politics, health, even existential dread, not because it's funny.
Joking about everything. Got Jimmy Kimmel canceled. Imagine you could make jokes about Jesus, assassination, Martin Luther King, but you say something about Charlie Kirk, you no longer have a place to work.
But because it's easier than facing the weight of it all. Irony becomes a shield. Sarcasm becomes currency. And depth? That becomes a burden we're too tired to carry. It's not that people don't care, it's that they're exhausted. And the shallow stuff? It's fast, it's fun, and most importantly, it doesn't hurt. And let's not ignore the biology. Shallow content hits the brain like fast food. Quick, salty, addictive. Every like, every swipe, every notification pumps dopamine into our system. It rewards us instantly. No patience required, no delayed gratification, just the quick hit. And just like junk food, the more we consume it, the more we crave it, and the harder it becomes to return to anything nourishing. A 3,000-word essay feels like a mountain. A thoughtful documentary feels like homework. And the algorithm knows this, so it keeps feeding us what's easy, never what's right. So here we are, a society seduced by simplicity, addicted to immediacy, and mentally rewired to avoid anything that requires effort. Not because we're lazy, but because the system has taught us that shallow is safer, faster, and more pleasurable. And that might be the most dangerous lesson of all. But here's the part we rarely admit. This isn't just about individual choices. It's not that millions of people all spontaneously decided to abandon depth. It's that the system was designed, engineered, to reward the shallow. The platforms we use, the content we consume, the attention economy we live in, none of this is neutral. The shallowness is not an accident. It's an algorithm. Social media doesn't care about truth. It doesn't care about nuance. It cares about one thing: how long you stay on the app. And what keeps you scrolling isn't critical thinking. It's emotional reaction, outrage, envy, lust, laughter. Whatever gets the pulse up and the brain off. That's what the algorithm pushes. Not wisdom, not learning, not uncomfortable truths, but the easiest bait for your most primal instincts. Because that's what keeps the ad revenue flowing. And the market follows suit. The entertainment industry isn't here to uplift. It's here to monetize attention. And stupidity, believe it or not, sells better than brilliance. A fake feud between influencers generates more clicks than a lecture
Man, tell me he ain't talking about no jumper to Fed quarters. That's crazy.
from a Nobel laureate. A drama-filled live stream beats a documentary. A controversial tweet, no matter how false, spreads farther and faster than the truth ever could. Why? Because chaos is profitable, outrage is monetizable, and ignorance, when packaged right, is good business. The news media is no exception. The model rewards speed over accuracy, spectacle over depth. Complex stories are reduced to headlines. Nuance is flattened into binary conflict. And the personalities that rise to the top aren't the ones with the best ideas. They're the ones with the loudest voices. The ones who can package fear, blame, and false certainty into a 30-second soundbite. Because that's what drives ratings. That's what wins elections. And let's not forget politics. Today's most successful politicians aren't those who understand policy. They're those who master performance.
Donald Trump, they cooking on this little AI video.
The more extreme the position, the more attention it gets. The more simplistic the message, the more it resonates. Governing has become secondary to branding. We no longer elect leaders, we elect content creators. And in that environment, anyone who dares to speak with nuance, with honesty, with complexity, is drowned out by the noise. So before we blame ourselves, we need to understand the bigger picture. We are living in a system that rewards the worst parts of our psychology, that feeds our impulses instead of our intellect, that profits from confusion, distraction, and division. The glorification of stupidity didn't happen in a vacuum. It was built, refined, and optimized for maximum engagement. And the deeper you look, the more you realize this isn't a glitch, it's the plan. So what happens when a system rewards ignorance, punishes intellect, and trains an entire culture to crave simplicity over truth? The result isn't just a shallow internet feed, it's a lost generation, a society slowly losing its compass. Because over time, what begins as a cultural trend becomes a civilizational crisis. Young people are growing up in a world where being thoughtful isn't respected, it's ridiculed. Where asking deep questions makes you boring. Where the loudest, not the wisest, become role models. And so they adapt. They learn that it's safer to play dumb, to be funny, flashy, and unthreatening, rather than curious, serious, or intellectually ambitious. Intelligence, once admired, now feels socially expensive. So many choose to hide it, and slowly even they begin to forget it was ever there. Meanwhile, our education systems, once designed to cultivate critical thought, are being devalued, defunded, and dismissed. Teachers are overworked, humanities are cut. Philosophy, history, and ethics, the very disciplines that train the mind, are seen as irrelevant in a market obsessed with speed and profit. We tell students to major in whatever makes money, not in what makes meaning, and then we wonder why they feel lost. At the same time, those who rise to fame are often famous for being famous. No invention, no insight, just visibility. We idolize influencers who offer no vision beyond the next brand deal. We reward personalities who exploit attention, not those who expand understanding. And in that world, the truly thoughtful retreat. The philosophers, scientists, and deep thinkers become the silent minority, ignored in the public square, drowned out by the spectacle. The cultural microphone has been handed to the least informed and the most confident. And here's the cost. When wisdom disappears from the conversation, so does our ability to solve real problems. Climate change, public health, political polarization, these aren't just technical challenges. They are crises of thinking, crises that require nuance, patience, and uncomfortable truth. But how can a society respond wisely when it has spent decades training itself to reject wisdom? When facts are dismissed,
It ain't gonna turn around. It's just gonna be a journey for those that'll still be here. Gonna have to. It's just gonna be crazy, man. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I know it feels like we so close to the end. But you know, it felt like that way back then too.
as bias and complexity is seen as manipulation. This is how societies lose their way, not in one moment, but through 1,000 small choices, to reward ease over effort, noise over depth, surface over substance. And one day, you wake up and realize the people in charge don't understand the problems they're trying to solve. The citizens don't trust the few who do. And the institutions meant to guide us have been emptied of meaning because we stopped believing thinking mattered. And if we let that continue, the future won't be led by the best among us. It will be shaped by whoever shouts the loudest and sells the most. And yet, something else is stirring beneath the noise. For all the chaos, not everyone is giving in. A quiet resistance is building. It's not loud, it's not trending, but it's real. A growing number of people, especially the young, are beginning to question the system. They're starting to push back against the shallowness, the distractions, the digital overload. They're not shouting, they're unplugging. You'll find them in the movement called digital minimalism. Young men and women who are choosing less screen time, fewer apps, and more intentional living.
I never heard of that.
They're deleting social media. They're reading long-form books again. They're writing by hand. They're choosing depth over dopamine, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary.
Depth over dopamine. I like alliteration. He used it all throughout this whole piece. Oh my mama.
They're realizing that constant stimulation doesn't make life richer, it makes it emptier. And against all odds, long-form content is making a comeback. Podcasts that run for hours, filled with nuance, silence, even disagreement, are finding loyal audiences. Conversations with thinkers like Lex Fridman, Sam Harris, and Andrew Huberman are reaching millions. There's no flashy editing, no viral hooks. Just people talking honestly, slowly, about things that matter, and people are listening because maybe we're hungrier for depth than the system gives us credit for. Education, too, is quietly reinventing itself. While mainstream institutions chase marketable degrees and corporate partnerships, small colleges and independent programs are reviving the soul of education. They're teaching philosophy, logic, critical thinking. Students are reading Plato, Nietzsche, Marcus Aurelius, not because it gets them a job offer, but because it makes them human. Because in a world addicted to distraction, learning how to think is a radical act. Even the culture of self-help is evolving. The loudest influencers still preach quick fixes and dopamine hacks, but beneath that, a quieter wave is growing. People are journaling, practicing stoicism, meditating not for productivity, but for clarity. They're not chasing viral success, they're chasing meaning. And they're finding it in ancient ideas, difficult books, and real conversations. These aren't revolutions with banners and slogans. They're revolutions of the mind. Small, disciplined, invisible to the algorithm, but make no mistake, they are happening. There are people waking up to the cost of shallow living. People choosing silence over noise, reflection over reaction, substance over spectacle. And while they may not dominate the headlines or trend on TikTok, they represent something far more powerful than a moment. They represent a shift, a countercurrent, proof that not everyone is willing to drown in the shallow end of culture.
I like to think we part of that shift on that wave. On my mama, Black Box Production.
That there are still those willing to dive deep, even when the world tells them to float. So what do you do when the world around you celebrates the shallow? When ignorance is marketable and depth feels like exile? You don't fight the world with noise. You don't outshout the chaos. You take a harder path, the quieter, slower, more deliberate one, not because it's easy, but because it's the only path that leads anywhere real. It starts with you, with the questions you're willing to ask yourself. Are you thinking, or are you just reacting? Are you chasing truth or chasing validation? Are you willing to feel uncomfortable, not emotionally, but intellectually? Because growth doesn't happen inside echo chambers. It happens when you step outside them, when you let your ideas be challenged, when you trade certainty for curiosity. Then it moves into your habits, not dramatic changes, but small, intentional ones. Read a little longer than you normally would. Watch something that doesn't entertain you, but stretches you. Share something online not because it's popular, but because it's true. Engage
That's what we do.
with ideas that take effort, that require context, that don't fit in a caption. Choose what nourishes, not just what stimulates. Your mind, like your body, becomes what you feed it. Next comes community. Find people who care about meaning, not just memes. People who want to talk about what matters, not just what's trending. Seek conversations that go deeper than opinions. Conversations that ask why. Build spaces, online or in person, where thinking is honored. Where disagreement isn't feared but welcomed. Where people aren't afraid to say, "I don't know," and mean it. And above all, your attitude matters. Don't pretend to be less intelligent to make others comfortable. Don't play dumb to get along. Because the longer you fake it, the more likely you are to forget who you really are. The world doesn't need more empty smiles and performative ignorance. It needs people willing to be awake. People willing to risk being misunderstood in order to speak truth. People who still believe that depth matters, even when the world seems allergic to it. So no, you're not here to wage war against the system. You're here to live differently within it, to make different choices, to carry the torch of thought in a time of distraction, to be a small, steady light in a world that keeps dimming itself. Because culture doesn't change from the top down. It shifts one choice at a time, one mind at a time. And maybe, if enough of us choose to think deeper, question harder, and live more consciously, shallow won't be the only thing that wins anymore.
Well, yeah, hey, if they got hectic, or you got a problem with the dog, better address it. What's that, nigga? Hey, well, hey, y'all, hey, if they got hectic, or you got a problem with the dog, better address it. When you see me pussy nigga, oh, you better check me. Hurry ride like a 10-speed. I don't give a fuck, I'ma bust it till it empty, bust it till it gone, bitch. You gon' fucking feel me. Oh, dog say when he see me, he gon' kill me. Well, don't meet me there, beat me there, pussy nigga. Oh, I'm about that action, dog. I know you heard about it, I just ain't gon' shoot you, nigga. Bitch, I'm shooting at everybody, play ball. Oh, I'm posted in the front yard, you can slide through, fuck nigga. If you hard, I get the busted, better move, need a U-Haul. It's gon' be so sad, so bad how I do, y'all. Walking on my knuckles, bitch, I'm fresh from the zoo, dog. Double barrel buckshots, it'll fly through, y'all. Yeah, you heard what the fuck I said, nigga. You know how the fuck I'm coming, nigga. I'm not playing with you niggas. I don't know why you niggas think I'm something to play with, nigga. I'm not fucking around. Hey, switch sides, I'll beat you till you cry, nigga. On my life, nigga, swerving down the fire, nigga. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we go live, nigga. I ain't lied, nigga. Keep a heater on my side, nigga. I'm that nigga, I'll snatch her out the ride with you. She'll leave her main, nigga, start replying to her side, nigga. I hit you, you feel it the next morning. All back shots, she catching what I'm throwing. You love her, you need her, but dog, she hoeing. I pull up in the 2-seater and she going. I don't need her, don't want her, but she want it. I'm smoking something lethal, dog, and it's potent. Throwing something illegal, dog, and it's smoking. I let it go, he down, he broken. She in the tub, she wet, she soaking. She gon' give it all to me when I go in. Yeah, if it got hectic. Heard you got a problem with the dog, better dress it. When you see me pussy nigga, oh you better check me. Heard it ride like a 10-speed. I don't give a fuck, I'ma bust it till it empty. Bust it till it gone, nigga, you gon' fucking feel me. Dog say when he see me, he gon' kill me. Well, don't meet me there, beat me there, pussy nigga. Oh, I'm about that action, dog. I know you heard about it, I just ain't gon' shoot you, nigga. Bitch, I'm shooting at everybody. Yeah, I know you heard about it, nigga. I know you heard about it, nigga. It's no need. Y'all, it ain't got head. I just got a problem with the dog, better dress it. When you see me put the nigga on, you better check me. Hey man, can you believe this nigga called my phone about a bitch he love that's in love with me? I told this nigga come pick this bitch up. If you want her that bad, come get this bitch. Man, it ain't got hectic. Heard you got a problem with the dog, better dress it. It's no need.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.